You have the last word, and what is the one thing that you think should be done in your community to help build trust, which is so badly needed?
Not only in Ferguson, but in Baltimore, in Staten Island, in America, and really across the world. I want to boggle your minds a little bit. Understand that America has always existed under some form of a racial caste system. Whether that been slavery, the black codes, Jim Crow, or which we are now dealing with, which is mass incarceration, which entails into policing. What would I like to see in my community is an end to state violence, but I know it's not easy to end. Advice I would give to many of the elites, and particularly the white community, is that understand that you don't know what we go through. No matter how many degrees you have, no matter the PhDs, no matter what research you go through, understand that these young people have been on this front line and they've actually experienced this state violence. They've actually experienced, I have a rubber bullet mark still on my arm, a scar. And also know that you have a certain privilege. It's called white privilege. Understand that you have this white privilege, but don't feel guilty. Use your privilege to help bring a sort of change. Go back into your communities. Go back into your communities, have real conversations about race, and understand that we don't live in this post-racial world. Growing up, I was taught that, Martin Luther King marched, they passed bills, and then everything was okay. We elected President Obama, and then everything was okay. That's not real. If we really want to get real about doing something, we got to get real with each other. You understand what I'm saying? Honestly. And two, being that this is a youth-led movement and primarily being led by some young black women, understand that you don't have to marginalize young voices. I met with some incredible young students across St. Louis, across the United States and from South Africa yesterday. Amplify young voices. Instead, center your work around young people. Don't tell them to follow you, follow them. And I really mean that. And to many of the young black people who have been traumatized by this state violence, by this police violence, it's going to be a long fight. And I want everyone to understand that if an oppressed peoples are an oppressed, you can't tell an oppressed peoples how to behave under oppressive systems. So when there are uprisings, don't call them looters and rioters. Understand why it's happening. I think people look at the content rather than the context that they created the situation in the first place, right?
So it's like we are afraid of the outcome, and maybe we should be afraid of the underlying causes that led to that.
Exactly.
I'm going to say, watch this space.